Hey, folks, greeting. Hey, this is Gabriel A. Timmons Sr. here, the owner and CEO of GC Financial. I'm definitely excited tonight. Been working with the gentleman now for the last couple of years there. Phenomenal gentleman, Mr. Brian Shaw with National Association of Medical and Dental. Just with all the changes with Medicare under 65 dental plans, you see right now, I got braces there. Just about all the costs with dental insurance. You know, with dental insurance, it's not like traditional health insurance, even with vision insurance. It's just a lot of moving parts. I tell my customers all the time, dental insurance can be tricky, but I can really say with this gentleman, Mr. Brian Shaw, he's made my job easy, asking questions, being able to take good care of my customers, explaining the process how dental insurance works. So without further ado, the sales manager of National Association of Medical and Dental, Mr. Brian Shaw, floor is yours, sir. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Gabe. And you're so right. Dental insurance. It's like, you know, what do you need to know about dental insurance? Well, a lot of people don't think about dental insurance until they need it. And, everybody talks medical this, medical that. If people are overeducated on medical insurance and, what their benefits do for them, this, that, and the other. Whether you're in the workplace getting it, whether you're on Medicare, whether you're looking for just a plan in the marketplace, there's so much information on medical, but there's very little information on dental. And dental is so important because, I mean, let's just look at it like this. Dental is the key to your overall health, period. So what goes in, is basically what fuels your body and if you have issues with your teeth, and Gabe can speak to this if he wants to, it can lead to all kind of issues, heart issues, blood pressure, diabetes. There's all types of things that could be, associated from your oral health, that could be related to your oral health. That's why it's so important to make sure that you have a plan that's going to have your back. And where do you go when you need that? That's a big question. So you reach out to someone like Gabe or me to help you navigate it. And, insurance for dental, I don't know about you, Gabe, but if you've ever Googled dental insurance recently, it's like a rabbit hole. There's so much information and there's no information at the same time. So what we do is we try to help cut through all the red tape to make it easier for you. Our whole motto in our company is we shop the plans for you that are going to save you the most money on the dental procedures that are most common and some that are not common. You know, uh, Today, a lot of people are looking for cosmetic dental with implants and things like that. Well, good luck finding a plan that pays for that, but we have one. We've done the homework, we've done the research, we have a plan that will help you with that. So, you know, I think that education is a big deal when it comes to dental. I know that, I'm overly educated on this subject because it's what I do, it's all we do. But it's so important because I don't care who you are, $1,000 bill is scary. It doesn't matter if it's from your medical doctor or your dentist, it's still 10,000 bucks. And if we could help save you money on that, then that's a win. What do you think?
Hey, that's awesome. Brian, man, I definitely appreciate you just talking about mentioning that is understanding about how tricky dental is. I wanted to ask you just a couple questions, man, because I get questions all the day. And what I do understand, Brian, is I don't take care of these people with their dental insurance, man. I can lose a customer, especially when you're not understand how dental insurance, and you really helped me educate on some things there. So what I wanted to ask is that if I'm coming off the street and I never had dental insurance, most of the dental plans I've had in the future, you have to wait a 6-month waiting period there. So with your company, do you have to wait for a waiting period? Root canal or anything like that? Because I know it's one of the things I may have to get after my braces off. Do I have to wait?
That's a great question. Waiting periods are those things that are annoying. So, i i again, if you don't understand how dental plans work, you think that you've got coverage and then you go to the dentist and they're like, well, your major benefits don't kick in for another 6 months. Confusing. Why do you have to wait to use insurance that you're paying for? Doesn't make any sense. We don't have waiting periods with our plans. The only waiting that you have to do is if you signed up today, it would be effective the next calendar month. So that means that today's the 9th of October. So you'd wait about 21 days or so. And that's not bad at all, considering that, like we said, a lot of these traditional plans make you wait 6 months, sometimes even 12 months before you have access to those major benefits. And let's talk about major benefits. Are they really benefits? I mean, they're going to dollar cap you at probably $1,500, sometimes even maybe 2,000. But in the world of dentistry, that ain't going very far because your money doesn't spend, especially like especially for Medicare or Medicare folks, their money doesn't spend the same as the average person because why? Because it's Medicare. So what's the dentist going to charge Medicare? As much as they can, right? There's no negotiated rate with Medicare when it comes to the dentist. What he charges his full rate, and he can. That's nothing wrong with that. But if Medicare offers you a certain amount of money that you think you can use, you can, but it's going to go away quickly, so you won't be able to get a lot of stuff done. But to your point earlier, there's no waiting with our plans. You start the next calendar month.
Wow, man, that was good. That was, I mean, look, like I said, that's one of my main questions. People come get health insurance, they get immediate coverage, but it doesn't work like that with dental insurance, man.
Correct.
And people looking for that immediate. Then, like I said, you're one of a few companies that I know that offer that. Another question, Brian, that people ask me all the time, and you've educated me on that, but just for the audience that's listening, which is better for dental? Because dental is different from medical or vision. So, which is the HMO better? Which is the PPO? Which is better for saving the customers costs on the work that needs to be done?
So that's a great point. Cost versus convenience. That's really how we look at the difference in PPOs and HMOs. HMOs are going to save you more money, but your network is limited. Well, I say limited. It's more limited than your PPOs. PPOs will give you the freedom and flexibility to go to any dentist because there's in-network and out-of-network benefits. However, with PPOs, you do have limits. You do have dollar cap limits, and the PPO that we carry is a 150/25 plan, meaning that it's 100% of your basic maintenance, 50% of your level 2, and I think it might be level 3, and 25% of your major. Now, that means that you're going to be responsible for that 75% of that major. If and this is the way I explain it to all my clients. If Bob the dentist is your best friend or your golfing buddy and you have to go see Bob, then by all means get a PPO and help pay for his golf game. I mean, that's up to you. If that's what you want to do it. But if you're like the rest of us who are just trying to save a dollar and are trying to figure out how I'm going to afford this procedure that I have to have, the HMO is a much better plan because, there are plenty of great dentists that are in the HMO network. And our HMO that we work with is just about nationwide. So we're in just about almost 50 states. There are a few states that we're not in, but with the HMO plan, you know, just to kind of give you an example from personal experience recently, surgical extractions, that's kind of a common thing that people don't think about. But when you're dealing with some older clientele, people that have Medicare, or maybe not, maybe not, they're not at that place yet, but broken teeth is an issue. Someone has a broken tooth. How's it going to come out? Well, it's going to require surgery. So what does that mean? That means that cost is going to be skyrocketed. A typical surgical extraction can run anywhere from $400 to $600 before anesthesia. That's just a procedure to the specialist. So when you bring in anesthesia, and of course, nobody wants to hurt. Nobody's unless you're unless you're a psycho, and you don't want any kind of anesthesia. The rest of the world, we don't want to feel it. So there's what they call deep sedation. That can add another $300 on top of the bill. So you're already looking at $1,000 for a procedure off the street. With the HMO, the copay to the specialist, because with our benefits, the copays follow you to the specialist, which is unusual too. I can talk about that in a minute. But the copay is only $53 for that surgical extraction. It's 53. And you have benefits for deep sedation as well. So that means that they can do local anesthesia, which is, I mean, that's included, or you can take it a step further where they basically put you under to take care of it. And that's the much smoother, easier way to do it. You wake up and it's all done.
Man. So folks, you heard it. The HMO is definitely price wise. And you want to save money, like you said, just to, a lot of times where the economy is, things like this, a lot of times people are crunching.
Well, HMOs have a stigma, just the term itself. When you think about, someone that says, "Oh, I don't want an HMO," and you ask them why, they really can't tell you why. They just heard that an HMO was terrible. I'm sure you've come across that in your work too. It's like,
All the time.
people, it's what my neighbor told me. It's what my my cousin told me I shouldn't get an HMO. And really the only drawback of an HMO, like I said, is your network size. That's really it. But, at the end of the day, if you can't afford the procedure, I don't care if there's 1,000 different dentists available to you, you're still not going to have it done.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
and then what happens next? It gets worse, and now you're not going to have a choice. So, it's definitely been an experience being in the business, and I've been eye opening and understanding things for myself. But I enjoy what I do. I enjoy educating customers on what these, you know, I enjoy breaking down the walls on these stigmas that they have for these terms that may not necessarily be justified.
Yeah, great points. Like Brian said, especially with HMOs being in the space with health insurance, what I tell people, and Brian, you can elaborate on that in just a second, is a lot of times with the HMO plan, and really the HMO is really controlling your dollars. That's really what it is. There's managing the money there.
Correct.
A lot of times with the PPO, people just go have a PPO specialist. It's costing more money. So a lot of times it is control. So Brian, if someone's in a smaller town, is the HMO beneficial for them than going with the PPO there? If like for instance, Jacksonville, a part of Jacksonville, a bigger city, Tampa, or in Raleigh, North Carolina, or a Charlotte, or a bigger city, Columbia, or Dallas, Texas, these bigger cities.
Well,
Is it
obviously in your bigger cities, you're going to have more options for the HMO. But think about it like this. You're also going to have more options for your grocery stores. So you don't think that if I didn't live in Bun Level, North Carolina, I wouldn't drive to Fayetteville to go shop? Of course I would. Do you know what I'm saying? And so what's the difference? If I'm going to drive 30 or 40 minutes to go get a shirt, why wouldn't I drive 30 or 40 minutes to go get the best dental care?
But folks, you heard that. So hey, I'm from a small town called Palmetto, Florida. Population to be determined. Well, Palmetto, Florida is 45. It's about 35, 40 minutes from Tampa, maybe another 20, 30 minutes from St. Pete. So if you're from a smaller town, what Brian is saying is go to a bigger city, get HMO plan, because guess what? It's going to save you money there. I paid this is my second time getting braces. I'm on my wife's insurance, but really what I should have done is got a plan through Brian and you can elaborate that in just a second for my braces. And then I would say half the cost, because guess what? This time my teeth wasn't as bad. Guess what? They charged me over double what I paid the first time. And my mouth I had a big gap, like the gap band for some of you people that I'm dating my age right there. So Brian,
And then when you got the bill, they dropped a bomb on him.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Little gap band reference.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. So, man, Brian, I know I don't want to keep you too long, man, but you definitely helped. But any closing words you want to say, man? But we thank you, because like dental insurance is important there. You can get in contact with Brian through me. We have a great working relationship there. He's up hundreds of my customers with great service, being able to get these benefits and making sure right now, especially now, the money that they can save there. I know a lot of times people want to save money, and I want to save money. We always want to save money right there. So, Brian, I'm going to let you close out any closing words you maybe want to say before we get out of here.
Let me just say one last thing. When it comes to seniors and navigating Medicare, which is a big deal, I just read through the Medicare paperwork today, and just so you know that the cost of the dental plan on the Advantage plan is more than my HMO policy, and there's a dollar cap on it. And, so consider another source for dental. You don't always have to just don't let anybody tell you that you have to take this particular plan. You do have options, and Gabe will help you navigate that and find those options for you when it comes to the dental coverage. There's better options out there, as we prove daily. We can help you because, like I said, our goal as a company, for me, is to help put you into a plan that's going to save you the most money based on what you need. We just want it to make sense. It's got to make sense. If it doesn't, why are we doing it? And at the end of the day, in the economy that we're dealing with, if you could save money, that makes sense. And, dental is something that that you can't let go but for so long before you end up having a bigger problem. And then it gets serious. So we want to take care of that before then, and that's what we do. We help people we make it affordable. We help people. We give them the opportunity to get the things done that they have to get done. But for our seniors especially, don't just, don't just think there's only one way. There's other ways to get this done.
It's a great point, man. So, Brian, man, thank you, man. Thank you again for your time there. Like
You
they
bet.
say, this wealth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a little tip on this. Dental insurance is wealth, just like health insurance, because that's important right there. You have to take
Right.
care. You have to take care of your teeth there. So, hey, folks, please like and subscribe to this video. Share this because, like I said, we're helping all kind of people across the country with dental insurance because this is important there. That having the right kind of dental insurance and taking care of your hygiene is very important there too. So, Brian, thank you again, man, for your time
You
there.
bet.
And we definitely, we talk a couple times a week, man. But thank you for just the service, being a servant leader. Have a heart to help people again. So, well, folks, thank you again. This is Gabriel Timmons here at GC Financial, where we build your future one step at a time. Thank you very much.